Okay, a few days ago I said, get ready, we have a big misinformation and disinformation campaign that's going to launch in a big way. And exactly 2 days later, the Wall Street Journal came out with a huge story claiming some insane thing about how the US government did a test on these nuclear weapons sites that control the decision making. The guy who's turning the key, and disabled them, and that was us. And we were testing to see if it works. Do you know how insane that is? Yeah. So we're just gonna say, hey, I wonder if this works, and oh, oops, it didn't. Kaboom! No, none of it's true. And I warned you about this, but I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and you're going to realize that you can live your life pretty, let's just say, easy peasy from here on out if you think about what I'm going to tell you in this video. The misinformation, how do we handle it? And does it even matter? Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears. Yep, my hair's under here. I put it up in a little pony on the top. It's really hot out there. Went for my little walk and said, I gotta talk about this. Now, I was walking and I saw something very strange that disappeared. And it was not related to a plane. I'll share that with you in a moment. But first of all, if you like my videos and you think I'm giving you value, if you're feeling good when you leave my channel, that's really my goal, is to help you realize you have everything to look forward, and that any fears are just created stories. And most of it, pretty much all of it, is fed by the outside world, but you still get to choose what those stories are. Let's shift the stories, and that's what breakthrough fear is. So I've got free stuff down in the description for entrepreneurs who want to change the planet and change this. It's not that easy, not easy as you think. It's like, wow, I can do anything. What is that? Yikes. Nobody's ever told me I could just do anything for a living. And then breakthrough fear is really, how do we change that mindset? How do we break through it? Because fear is an amazing tool for humans. It allows you to, not do stupid things like jump off a bridge. Let's just see what this is like. I'm not afraid. Kaboom. So I'm going to talk about the misinformation and just tell you that you don't have anything to fear, because once again, it's another story. And everything revolves around stories. And then the second step is, do I believe the story? The third step is, then how am I processing that belief? Is it causing fear? Is it causing anxiety? Now do I look at the world differently? Information, me having to absolutely entangle with it first. I mean, I've been watching a few things, I wanted to hear what that report was. It was hysterical. I watch News Nation. They have a nice, really spin on things that is really reading all the facts, but just saying, does this make any sense, from experts? And we don't have to believe them either. So I have fun over there because it's a very positive channel. It shows us that there's this craziness going on in there and how insane this news really is. And now we're realizing it's all just made up and controlled by other parties. Who do you think the Wall Street Journal's run by? Come on! So this government report claims that they went over that big thing that everybody saw, that they saw was a UFO, was just the US government going zap, zap, shut down all the controls. Well, first of all, if they did, then hello. If I'm another country, let's go for it now. These guys are out of business, even if it's for a few minutes. Does that make any sense? It doesn't. So what I warned you about, and if you haven't watched that video of, it's starting, it's coming, misinformation tactics and campaigns, absolutely, and has already launched. Proof that 2 days later they launched the big one, because we've heard information for years. I'm talking about some serious stuff that's saying, okay, we're caught. We got to admit we got all this stuff. We got to admit that we've been lying. So now you're supposed to trust that we're not lying this time? Of course not. It's insanity. Now, I'm going to talk to you about that relationship that we have and that story we tell ourselves. because the misinformation that's coming out is once again going to manipulate us to believe that our government or those in power are in control, and that they're doing everything. They're the guys. They're doing everything. It's mostly the guys. Sorry guys, but it's mostly the guys. And that B, somehow we should trust them now, and C, manipulate us, usually into fear, as to what that all is. And now they're our protectors, and they were looking out at our best interest, and I don't believe it for a minute. Not for a minute. Because like the United States and the entire globe, there is good and bad, low density, high frequency in everything, right? You got the rattlesnake whose one bite could kill you, and then you got the king black snake here that protects our gardens and does their job. They're both snakes, and they're both scary. I'm a little, not real happy about those guys, but sometimes they got the cutest little faces. I'm like, wait a second, I can't say all snakes are bad. And so same thing with the government, NASA, anybody. There are absolutely different levels of, let's just say, intentions, motivation, frequencies within everything. Purposely, there is a balance somewhere in there. Now the balance is going to be what we use, and those people are stepping out. I had a video a few months ago, if you haven't seen that, and actually a year ago, I told you, don't freak out. The light workers are in all those places that you're fearing. There are a lot of light workers. They're going to start stepping out. And sure enough, just a few months ago, all of them, well, some of them, way more than you think, are still going to step out, have been stepping out of organizations, military, government, corporations are stepping out, and they say blowing the whistle. I'm just saying, okay, I don't like that term, but let's call them whistleblowers. In other words, it's over here. Hey guys, look, this is going on, and so now we as the public are getting to make a decision. Wow, nothing's as it seems. So I'm gonna demonstrate something to you, and this could be a big shift for you. Because I know a lot of you are caught up in this, you're upset, you're taking sides, government sides, political sides, all these things, right, wrong, good, bad, in total judgment with super basement density. Helps no one, separates everyone, creates conflict and struggle. So I'm going to ask you a question. Back in the day, when it was discovered that Earth was not the center of the solar system, the sun was, people got burnt at the stake, right? People got killed for that. Why? What changed? Nothing changed. Nothing. Now we accept it. Oh, okay, yeah, the sun is the center. Big whoop. We're like, why would anybody get upset over there? Because there's all kinds of control and being right, and I'm the authority on things, and it's all that low density control, especially with the church, saying this is how things are, and we're the center of everything. And so it all comes down to these insane stories. But if you never knew any of those stories, and somebody said, hey, by the way, did you hear that, the sun is the center of our solar system, and planets actually go around the sun, not Earth, and everything goes around Earth, you'd go, oh, okay, because the next day you get up, nothing would have changed. This is how it works. No matter what you hear, nothing's going to change. You're going to get up, and you still have the same decisions you get to make about anything that's going on this planet, whether you think it's good or bad. Nothing has changed. Whether we know that we've got non-human intelligence here, whether they're living here, whether they ever have been, what's changed? You have this information? Didn't really change anything. What'll change is if they land on my lawn and come in here and visit with me. That'll change a few things. But this information and this disclosure changes nothing. So whatever you're hearing and you get upset, you're like, that's wrong and that's wrong, doesn't matter. It's a waste of time and brain power to even think about it, because every single day you are still the powerful, amazing person that you are, and everything goes on around you is a collective decision of things that are going to either take us out of this insanity of control and power, and I'm right, and here's how it is, and now everybody's up in arms, and oh, that doesn't make sense. Who cares? Who cares? We know they're here. We know we're not the only one. Hello, McFly. Oh yeah, there's trillions. No, there's unlimited galaxies, unlimited universes, or verses. That means there's just one, and it's endless. Does it matter? Of course it's unlimited forms in it, seen and unseen. We're afraid of the things we don't see. Why? Because we were told a story, and we believed the story that it was evil, it was bad. Oh, it's evil. Well, if it is, it's a choice that it made in some other, pathway, journey it's on. It has no control over you. Do you know the Bible says that? I will fear no evil. In other words, it has no power over. What's to fear? There's nothing to fear. Even though you're in that, fear nothing. It is not more powerful than you. It's only when you believe that and you are in this story you tell yourself that that's bad. So you guys know that you guys have seen Digital Explorers. I have to work with some mindsets that self-sabotage themselves. They come over, they really want to do this. They really want to participate in this world and change their lives and change the world. They have to invest money and time in this. That's a big deal because we always want something back. What am I going to get back right away? Does it make it worth it? And we're not looking at a bigger picture and saying, I'm going to change some massive things in my life and others. I'm going to learn things I never knew before. I'm going to be a different person. And at the end of the day, that money's going to mean absolutely nothing. It's going to be your adventure and your journey. Yet I see people still thinking like this is how things are. And then if you hear any stories about anybody who's ever been successful, whether it's in a business or government or anything else, they will tell you that they have done insane things. I just saw an article on Sarah Blakely, who I've met a few times because I'm from Atlanta. And she said, here are the crazy things I did before I became a billionaire. Here are the crazy things I did. And she showed some insane things that she did that most people wouldn't. No way would they do it. And then I saw a filmmaker. I just saw a great article, and he said, he put $25,000 on, I don't know how many credit cards, on like 24 credit cards, because that was all he had. After something he loved. He's going after something that he believes in. I think it was Clerks. I think it was the movie Clerks that he put all that money in. And he's done 14 movies now. Very successful guy. Jersey Girl, some other ones. And he said, sometimes you have to be crazy, right? But don't be crazy like believing this stuff out there that doesn't serve you well. So I tell my students, I'm like, what you're trying to put logic on something that, can't possibly achieve your goals if you think that way. So, you can't put logic on these stories that come out and, because they make no sense at all. None of them. I really pity any, non-human entities, intelligence that our military gets a hold of. I'm sure they're not being treated well. Absolutely beyond the shadow of doubt. Not sure? No. But you know how it works. We do things, especially anything like based in that kind of control and, lying and all that stuff, is always going to do what's best and highest for itself, self-to-service, even if it sacrifices the best for others. And it saddens me, and we wonder why they're not making themselves known in the most powerful way, because we know we're not ready for it. And there will be big things happening these next 2 years in particular, because once the you-know-what hits the fan, it's out. It's all over the place, and it stinks, right? And so that's why the next 2 years are so huge. It's not that they're going to land on the presidential lawn. That'd be the last House lawn they'd land on, by the way. No, that's not what's going to happen. It's going to be like now we have an awareness, and a lot of us are going to say we're sick of being told these horrible things and these negative stories that we don't want to believe anymore. So are you going to believe the story? That's what's causing your fear. Are you paying attention to the negative stories? That's going to cause fear. And it's just not true. There may be some smidgets of truth all over, but you'll never know. So if the sun is the center or the earth is the center, does it matter? We're still moving the same way. We still have light and dark and all, in the seasons, and it doesn't matter what the story is behind it. Stories are powerful. And that's why, legends and things passed down can be powerful, because they are motivators for us. It's not that they're all real. It's that they give us something to stand on besides this insane world that could possibly make sense and motivate us. So you're going to see some insane things, but guess what? I don't know one person who would believe that really asinine Wall Street Journal story. I don't know. I was looking at PR, putting articles being featured in some publications, and I'll tell you what, Wall Street Journal isn't going to be one of them. That was one on the list. No, thank you. Not that they're the only ones doing this stuff, but I don't want anything to do with it. And you have to disassociate from these things. So, yes, if you're interested in these things, you can listen to it, but just remember, if you're allowing yourself to be swayed by some story that came out that you didn't know yesterday and you were perfectly fine, and all of a sudden your world looks different, it wasn't the story. It's what you chose to believe about the story. All right? So, again, go down into the description. I have hair products that have no plastic, no chemicals, dangerous chemicals, no animal testing. It's vegan. I have beautiful products down there. You want to clean up your water, get one of these little containers. You can take it with you. Go on vacation. If you're in your car, you can take it with you. Clean the crap out of your body and your environment and that out there. And we can't claim ignorance anymore. Are you doing anything to harm the planet with your purchases? It has to stop. It has to stop, my friend. Are you ready to do that? You hold the power. Credit card buys this or that. And by the way, that, much healthier. You can see amazing results. So I've got a few different things for you to look at down there. And go into my Amazon store. I support the sustainable small business owners who are making these products. They care, genuinely care. Bite toothpaste, you'll get discounts down there. If something's out, I've got other things for you to look at. We have to make these, we have to create that new world. All right? Don't be afraid to be an abundant, smart business person in that world, but where are you directing that toward? Let's do it responsibly. Let's purchase responsibly. Let's speak and think responsibly. That is exactly how we get invited to the higher realms. Otherwise, we're going to hang out with those lizard people that you guys are all talking about. You think they're all bad, right? Yeah, they're going to love us. They're going to take us out, because that's what happens to low-density entities. They don't care about each other. Service to self, that's not us. Don't go there. Stop the hate. Stop the negativity. Stop the judgment. And you know what? It's like my dad said, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. Bet you've heard that one before. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Get ready for many, many big things to come out, because that Wall Street Journal story is pointing out how just sad that information is, and how very made up it is. So now they're going to really be under fire. So now other things are going to come out, and then you're going to have people speaking out and people stepping out that you never expected. That just opened the door. So prepare. We're going to have a lot of fun with this, because it's really entertaining, because like I said, nothing changed. Yeah, unless a comet blasts us and takes us out. I'm still getting up in the morning, getting my red sun in my eyes, getting my vitamin D, and talking to you, because you are absolutely perfect. Never forget that. You have everything right now. It's everything else is the story that tells you you're not lacking anything. You have everything. Get rid of the stories that tell you that there's anything else. And be a little crazy sometimes. But let's do it up in the penthouse, not in the basement. Namaste.